Good morning, welcome back to another weekly vlog, and a vlog with a bit of a difference this week because we are off to a thing called New Wine United 19, which is like a big Christian like camping festival thing. Although my mum and I are actually staying in a hotel nearby, the others are camping. So yeah, this week is just going to be that, like our week there. We are just finishing packing the car and then we're going to head off. It's up in Peterborough, so it's a bit of a drive. And yeah, it's about midday, so I don't know what time we're going to get there, but we won't be hungry. Well, we've got plenty of food in the car. So yeah, I'll take you along for the week and let you see what we get up to. So we just stopped at the Metro services for lunch. Floral was in front of us at the queue for Costa. I didn't say hello to her though, I wish I had, but I don't know, it was all a bit busy. Yeah, we're just sitting down to have a bit of lunch. So we have arrived. I'm pretty exhausted, to be honest. There was a lot of traffic and it was a long journey. I don't know if you heard what I said when we were at the motorway services, because it was quite noisy, but the person in front of us in the queue was Fleur East, and I kind of wish that I had like gone up and said hello now, but I didn't. So yes, we're here. We're going to get some of our stuff in from the car that we want to keep at the hotel, and then we're going to go over to the showground and find the others that are camping. Thought I'd just do a little room tour for you. So we're staying in the, what is it, Holiday Inn Express in Peterborough. So you come in and you have to put your room key in there for the lights to work. You get a luggage thingy that Mum's just broken. There's also an ironing board behind Mum there. And you've got a little bit of hanging space here. Everything looks wonky in this, my camera, I think it's just me. Then we've got the bathroom here. Well, bathroom, shower room. So quite a decent sized shower, loo, and a sink. And then we've got a fan, we've got some towels. And then this is a twin room. It's quite big actually. So Mum's going to sleep here, I'm going to sleep there. Got a mirror, hairdryer, and then over here we've got the telly. Quite a big window looking out onto the car park. Then we've got a desk here with a little light, and over here we've got a kettle and some coffees and teas and milk in a sachet. So yeah, make coffees and teas if we want. Got a phone, Percy Pigs that we bought at the service station, and that's about it. It's not, yeah, it's sort of basic. Well, I don't know, would you say it's basic?
It's got everything in it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more than basic. So yeah, and the beds look comfortable, so I'm happy.
So I just want to say to you that this is not our first ever event. We might be in a new location, but we're still New Wine and Jesus is still Jesus. So we're going to do what we've always done, which is we're going to press into his presence through worship, we're going to hear from his word, and then we're going to ask his spirit to come. And Jesus is going to do what Jesus always does. And all the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, and all it chases me down, fights to run, found leaves the night tonight. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. And all the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Just thought I would come on and sign off for today. Sorry this day's been a bit all over the place, but with sort of travelling down here and stuff, yeah, it's just been a bit of a funny day. It's been raining a lot, which hasn't been great, because like trying to get into the campsite and have a look around and stuff, it's all wet and muddy, and yeah, not much fun like when you want to have a little look around. But Once we'd got settled in the hotel, we went over to the campsite and finally managed to find the others. It was like so confusing trying to get around it. But yeah, we found them and had dinner pretty much as soon as we got there. And then once we'd had dinner, we drove like round to where the big like arena is. And then I got my chair out and we went into the arena, and they have like an evening, I think they call it an evening celebration or something like that. And there's like music and a talk, which was nice. It was just kind of, I think I was just sort of taking it all in and like working out like what everything was going on. The accessibility people were really helpful. So they couldn't do it for tonight, although they sorted out like somewhere for us to sit, but they've now like reserved us a place so that when we go to the arena, we can just go straight to our place each time and know exactly where we're sitting. So that's quite good. And yeah, then when that finished about 9:15. And then we got back in the car and decided to just come back to the hotel because we're tired and it's been a long day. So yeah, just back at the hotel now, and I think I'm just going to get ready for bed because I'm shattered. So I will sign off and speak to you tomorrow. Good morning. I am feeling a little bit fresher this morning after having a good sleep. We have just been down to have some breakfast, which was very nice. And now I think we're going to head over back to the campsite again. It has been absolutely pouring with rain, which is great. Although I don't know whether it's stopped at the moment. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it stops and that it brightens up a bit, because it's just been horrible and it's not fun for people that are camping. And I'm just slightly concerned about getting my wheelchair around because a lot of it's like field and mud, and I'm a bit worried that I'm going to get stuck. But yeah, I think we're going to head over there now and then decide what we're going to do today. So we've made it onto the site. They wouldn't let us park by 10, so we ended up parking in a disabled parking car park, like way over that way. Actually, we found out that if you've got a blue badge, they should let you drive up to your tent, so we'll know that for next time. My dad and I are now going to go shopping to Tesco's to get some food and bits for the next couple of days. Right, so Tesco's is done. It was absolutely mental. Oh, so busy.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, so we're back now. It's raining again. Oh, I tell you what, this is not convincing me that camping is fun. Yeah, I know. I'm in a hotel, so I'm happy. So yeah, we're back and we're just having a bit of lunch, and then I don't really know what we're doing, to be honest. So yeah, we've just got like bread and cheese and cold meat and things like that for lunch. And they might have a little bit of something sweet because it's cold and I kind of feel like that's what I want. And then I'll let you know what we're going to do. Right, so I just needed to pop to the, well, I say pop to the loo. I needed to go to the loo, which meant getting my wheelchair out of my car and then going in the rain to find a toilet. But we've now come into a bit called the atrium because, well, Mum's freezing, I'm freezing, we've been shaking because it's so cold and wet. And we're just having a little look around. There's a few little like, say shops here selling like bits and bobs, so you can have a little look around here, try and warm up a bit, and then we'll head back to the tent.
You had me at a low, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. You came right out of the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away.
So we're just in the bit that is called the marketplace, I think, and it's just got like lots of little stands and shops, people selling different things. It's got those little fairy lights. It's quite a nice respite from the rain and the cold. So we're just having a little look around all the different stands, and Mum has found, oh, two.
we think we're going to get one of these for Noah and call it Alfie because it looks like Alfie. So yeah, Mum's having way too much fun.
It's wonderful to be here with you again. I think the last time I was here was a couple of years ago. God has deliberately created us with blind spots. There are things we cannot see. There are things we need the help of others to see. There are things we will never accomplish without the help and support and insight of others.
So please excuse my slightly dishevelled appearance. It's been a very wet day. I'm not quite sure what I filmed. It's been a bit difficult to film a lot because it's just been pouring with rain. And we've been trying to stay dry. Everything is wet. I just feel wet and soggy and horrible. It has actually finally stopped raining now. Finally, after a whole day of just absolute tipping down. Pardon? And yesterday. And yesterday as well. Yeah, it was raining yesterday as well. So the campsite is a bit of a quagmire. It's just, the grass is wet. There's mud everywhere. Some of the so it's like sectioned into different camps. Some of the camps are just flooded with water. They've had to move tents and stuff. It's yeah, it's all good fun. It's not, well, it's been a hard day, I will say that. But we're lucky that we are in a hotel and we can come back and dry off. The others have got to well, we've brought some of their clothes back here just to try and dry them because nothing is drying. But yeah, apart from that, it's been quite a busy day. I went to Tesco's this morning with my dad, which was incredibly hectic. Well, I don't know whether everyone decides to do their shopping on a Sunday. It was really busy. We couldn't even find a trolley. They were all from here. Well, yeah, a lot of people from here probably went shopping, but we went... What are you doing? Nothing. Put the blooming puppet away. Yeah, so we went to Tesco's and sorted out loads of food and stuff. And then, can you please not sit on my stuff? It's worse than trying to vlog with Noah around. Yeah, came back and had some lunch, and then I needed the loo, so we went to find some loos, and then we decided because we were out we were going to go and find somewhere warm and dry, so we went to that place called the Atrium, which I think I told you about, and had a little look around there. And then there's a place called, I never know what it's called, Marketplace or Market Street or something like that, which has got lots of little stalls and shops and stuff in it. So we went in there and had a look around. There's some really nice stuff actually. I bought a couple of bits which I'll show you. Mum bought the puppet which I showed you in, yeah, that's the puppet. But that's for Noah. He wasn't sure about him, was he?
Yeah, he's a little bit.
We showed him and he kind of liked him from afar, but he did every time we've called it Alfie because it looks like our Alfie, and every time we got closer, him closer to Noah, he was just like, no. But he kind of laughed, we were making the dog kiss Rebecca and do funny dances and stuff, and Noah thought that was funny. But anyway, yeah, bye-bye dog. So yeah, I bought a couple of bits which I'll show you, and I do want to go back and have a proper look, but I think because it was so wet, there were so many people in there, it was quite hard to actually get around and look. And yeah, so we went round, and then we kind of went to the middle bit to look at the sort of it's split in half by like a sort of cafe bit. So we went to look at the other bit, and there was this like pole in the middle. It's like a cattle shed, I think, and there was just water like pouring in, and they had like these like boards around it to try and keep the water in like one place, and then they just had like loads of people with buckets like trying to empty it out. I felt really sorry for them, because it just looked like they were fighting a losing battle, because the water was just gushing in quicker than they could get it out. So yeah, I felt very sorry for them. So we had a look around there and then headed back, and it was raining even more by that point, so we just made it back to the tent, absolutely sopping wet. It's kind of wet inside, so we've got like a kitchen tent kind of thing where we eat, and it was even wet inside there. Like the ground was wet, like water was coming through different parts of the tent, and yeah, it was not much fun. So yeah, we got back there and then had some dinner, which was very nice. Richard and Lisa cooked that, which was nice. And then after dinner we went back to the like big arena for like the evening celebration. So there was some music, and then a lady was talking, which yeah, she was really good, but she did go on for a long time, and it kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't know, I just zoned out a bit. I couldn't concentrate. So yeah, did that, and then came out and it had stopped raining. Got my chair back in the car, and then we've driven back to the hotel to try and dry off a bit. So I think I'm going to make a cup of tea, because I just need something warm to kind of warm me up, and get into my pyjamas and just relax a bit until tomorrow morning. So I'll just show you the things that I bought today anyway. So the first thing I bought was these earrings. I just thought they were really pretty, little like stars, and then it's just got a little verse on it saying he counts the stars and calls them all by name, and those were £9. So yeah, I saw some earrings similar to this ages ago, and for some reason didn't buy them. So when I saw these, I was just like, yeah, it's meant to be. So picked those up, and then I collect pin badges. So I saw this one, and I just thought, actually mum found them, I give her credit. Yeah, saw this one, and I just thought it was very apt for the camp so far. So it just says be joyful, and it's got an umbrella and rain behind it, and I was like, yep, I've got to have that. And it's by a brand called Frog and Gnome, and that was £4. And then if you signed up to their like mailing list, which like the shop's mailing list, you just got a free little like card thing. So I got this one that says God made you and you are beautiful, which I thought was quite nice. And that is by Predators, which I think is what the shop was called. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what I got. So yeah, those were the things I bought. They had some really nice prints, so I might go back and like buy a print or something to go in my office or my room or something. But yeah, we just kind of had a look around and picked these few things up for today. Good morning, happy Monday. It's sunny, it's not raining, so that's a good start. I wasn't really feeling that well last night. I felt really sick, and yeah, just wasn't very good. But I don't know if it's just, well, I'm hoping it was just because I was really tired. Touch wood, I feel alright this morning apart from a sore throat. But yeah, we've just been down and had some breakfast, and now we're just waiting in the hotel room because Richard and Lisa are bringing Noah over so that they can give him a proper shower, because I think they're struggling on the campsite. So we're just waiting for them to arrive, and then once we've done that, we will head back over to the campsite again. So we're just sitting in the tent, about to have some lunch. Mum and I have just been looking around the marketplace again and bought, ooh, there's a wasp, bought a few bits, which I'll show you when we get back to the hotel later. But yeah, sun's out, it's quite hot. Mum's popping back to the hotel, so I've actually asked her to get my leggings for me because I'm getting a bit hot in my jeans. and yeah, just gonna grab some lunch, and then I think we're gonna take Noah to Stepping Stones this afternoon so that he can have a play, so that Richard and Lisa can have a little date for their anniversary. Whee!
Minnie! Minnie! Quick, get him over it!
Kick it!
Oh!
So we've had quite a chilled out afternoon actually. Richard and Lisa went off to have a little date for their anniversary, and we decided to just stay at the little campsite with Noah because he was really happy playing. So yeah, we've just been sat chatting to some of the others, having a drink, him playing and chilling out, and now we have just popped to the loo and we're heading back to the campsite because we're doing like a communal barbecue. So yeah, just heading back for that. Room now, and it is 11:30. Yeah, very tired, but it's been a nice day today. The weather's been good and it's been really nice. We've been socialising with the rest of the group. So yeah, this morning Richard and Lisa came over here and gave Noah a shower and had showers themselves as well. I was kind of thinking of going to a morning group, but timings just didn't work out. So we then went over to the campsite, and my mum and I had a look around the marketplace again. It was a lot quieter today, and I will show you the bits we got in a minute. And then my dad came and met us, and then we went back to our tent and we had a bit of lunch. And then Richard and Lisa had asked us if we would mind taking Noah to like one of the kids groups, or like you kind of stay with them, so that they could go and just have a little bit of time, the two of them, because it's their anniversary today. So we were going to take Noah to the kids group, but he was really happy just playing like where our little camping section is. So we just thought, if he's happy, you know, he had like some of his toys out and he was running around and chatting to people, and we just thought there was no point in kind of uprooting him. So we just stayed there and chilled out and chatted to some of the other people. And then a bit later on, we all just had a big like group barbecue together, which was really nice. And yeah, just chatted a bit more, had a drink and chilled out. And then Mum and Dad looked after Noah, and Richard and Lisa and me went back up to the main arena and to like the evening celebration. So we had some music, and then there was a talk, but it was more like they had like lots of different panels and stuff, like talking about different things, and it was really interesting. And then there was a bit more music, and then there was so we came out of there, and then there was a jazz and blues evening, which we thought might be quite nice. So we went and started listening to it, and kind of realised it just wasn't really our kind of music, wasn't the kind of jazz that we thought it would be. So we decided to kind of sneak out and we had a little look like at a couple of the other venues because there's so much going on. So we kind of stuck our head in and just sort of had a look around, and we went to a place called The Loft, which is basically like a bar and lounge type thing for adults. And we kind of went in there and just had a little look around because we hadn't been in there before. But they were just about to start a pub quiz and we didn't want to stay for like a whole quiz. So we then headed back to the tent and just sat there and chatted for quite a while. Watched the space station go over. And yeah, we've just come back here now because we were getting tired and a bit cold. So yeah, it's been nice. I don't think the weather's meant to be good tomorrow, which is a real shame. But it's been nice today. Tomorrow is called the Delegates Rest Day. So basically there aren't, so they have the morning celebration and an evening celebration, but in between there's nothing on. So a lot of people go off site and do things. I don't think we've got any plans to go off site in the afternoon. I think we're going to go and have like tea and cake in one of the cafes. But yeah, just going to have a chilled day tomorrow. So yeah, gonna get into my pyjamas now and get some sleep, but I will show you some of the bits we bought today. So my mum bought this picture, which is by an artist called Hannah Dunnett. She has got a website actually, so I will link it below. And they had so many of these prints, but we really liked this one. So it's just like a little town, but it's got like words in it as well. But I think it's really pretty. Little train down here and everything, and a boat. So yeah, we're going to frame that and put that in the house somewhere. And then I bought this print, which is the lyrics to All Things Bright and Beautiful, which I think it's a nice song anyway, but I like the sort of like colouring of what they've done here as well. This is by Frog and something, which I think is similar to one of the ones I bought yesterday, but there's a sticker covering it up so I can't see. But yeah, I'm going to frame that and either put it in my office or in my room. I haven't decided yet. And then I also bought a 2020 calendar. Now this is actually for my mum. I make her a stocking every year, and I always get like a slimline calendar to put in there. And she saw this and just really liked it, so I thought I'll buy it, start my Christmas shopping, and it can be a non-surprise for her stocking. And again, it's by the same person that did their other print that she bought, Hannah Dunnett, and it's just got, oh no, it doesn't say on the back, but it's basically got lots of prints, like, well, 12 prints, one for each month, and it's just really, really pretty. So yeah, got that as well. Good morning. We have just got back from having a bit of breakfast, just kind of getting ourselves sorted now, and then we're going to head over to the campsite and see the others. It's the rest day today, so there's not a huge amount on, so I think we're just going to have some like chilled out family time. We're going to go out for a cup of tea and cake later on. It's quite sunny at the moment, but apparently from about midday to 3 o'clock we're meant to have storms and torrential rain and hail, and yeah, not looking forward to that at all, but gonna make the most of it being sunny at the moment and just keep our fingers crossed that the weather forecasters are wrong. But yeah, just gonna get our stuff together and then head over to the campsite again.
I don't know for how long I'll get to hold your hand, to be your guiding light in the darkest of nights. I will try.
So we've just had some lunch and the weather is turning. It is very windy. We've just spent the last like hour trying to pin people's awnings and gazebos down because they're just blowing away everywhere. And it keeps trying to rain. It's like a little bit of rain and then stops. If that's what it does, then that's brilliant. But yeah, we're just going to clear up from the lunch stuff now, and then in a bit I think we're going to go down to the marketplace and have a look around and have some cake and some tea and just get in from the wind and the rain, and yeah, so gonna just have a chill out for a bit and then go down there. So we didn't do very well with going to the marketplace because it's shut. So we're now back in the tent and we're gonna have tea and cake here instead.
I will try to do my best until the day that I'll die. I won't lie, I won't lie. It's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, I will stay here. And as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
If you could imagine this. I want you to imagine that you're sat at your desk. That you're sat in front of your laptop at a desk. It's getting dark outside, so you close the curtains. And the only light in your room is from the screen of your laptop on your desk. You can hear the distant sounds of sirens outside, but they're far away. You're alone in your house. The front door is locked. It's just you, your desk, and your laptop. You open your browser, and saved is a website you've been 1,000 times before. Deep breath, here you go. The slam of the door makes you jump. You can feel the tension in the air. You never can relax on nights like this. You realise it's the car several streets away. You glance at the clock. You're always aware of the time when you're sat in front of the screen. And so you log in. She's online too. She's been waiting for you. She's always there at the same time, the same day. You've been talking for months. You know everything about her. You know where she lives. You know what she looks like. How many brothers and sisters she has. Where she likes to play with her friends. How young she is. You know that she's afraid. And you know that she's learned how to hide her fear. You know that she's forcing herself to hold eye contact across continents, screen to screen, because she's been taught how to capture an audience. You've never met face to face, but she thinks she knows you too. You take another deep breath in, and you begin to type. Hi, how are you? You look at the clock again. You know that there's not much time. Soon, very soon. Waiting is always the hardest part. And she begins typing broken English this time, but there are certain words that she's fluent in. And you know that before anything happens, money has to change hands. It's the familiar system, £20. You hope and pray that this will be the last. The clock is ticking. It has to be now. Your phone rings. It's happening. You're not as alone as you always feel. It's time. And somewhere, in a dingy back room, in a house, in a forgotten neighbourhood in Manila, there is a sudden shout as the police burst through the door. And you? You close your eyes and breathe a sigh of relief. because you are an undercover investigator. You worked for IJM, and this rescue has been months in the making, months of late night conversations gradually piecing together, piece by piece, the story of this girl, this location of this innocent child who was caught up in the most imaginable ring of abuse possible. This is
We're back at the hotel now. It's been a bit of a rainy day, well, rainy afternoon anyway. It was alright this morning, but we've managed to like pretty much dodge like the bad weather. So I think last time I spoke to you, we had come back to the tent to have some tea and cake because everywhere was closed up. So we did that and sat and chatted for quite a while, and lots of other people like came into our tent to have tea and cake with us, which was really nice. And yeah, just sat and chatted for ages, and then by that point it was like time for dinner. So Richard cooked us a curry and we sat and ate that, and then we decided to go, well, me, my mum, my dad and Richard decided to go to one of the different venues this evening because we've been to the arena a few nights and thought we would try something different. So we went to a place called Impact, which is kind of a similar format. You have like music and then you have someone talking. So yeah, we went there and it was just a different kind of vibe really. It was a lot smaller. The music worship was a different band, so it's always like slightly different, but really good music, really enjoyed it. And I kind of was sitting there like thinking, I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, church is so boring, like, you know, why would you go to church, it's really boring. And I was sitting there listening to this like really like upbeat music and people singing and dancing and like lights and like drums and guitars and like really awesome like vocals, and I was just like, if this is boring, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, because yeah, it's like being at a music concert. So yeah, that was good fun. And then the lady that spoke was really interesting. She was talking about, she works for a charity that help with like modern day slavery, and it was quite interesting like hearing what they do and her take on things. So yeah, she was really good. And then after that we like there was a group of us that decided to go to one of the cafes for a hot chocolate mountain, which is basically a hot chocolate with cream and I think it's usually chocolate sprinkles, but this time it was a flake, which I wasn't going to complain about. And there was some music going on, and then a stand-up comedian came on, which, I mean, we were like right at the back, sitting at some tables, so we weren't listening to the comedian really, because there's like a cafe bit at the back and then seats at the front for like the person that's performing. And yeah, we just chatted, drank our hot chocolates, we listened to the music to start with, and then the comedian came on, so sat there for a while and chatted, and then popped back to the tent to sort of say goodbye to everybody, and now we are back at the hotel. So I'm feeling really tired again. This is, I think from it's like, well, one, being outside all the time, I think definitely makes me feel more tired, and also like at home I would be taking a lot more like rest breaks and trying to pace myself a bit better, but here it's a lot more difficult. I mean, I still am pacing myself to some degree because we're spending time just sitting at the tent like chatting and stuff, but I guess if I was at home I would probably there would be less people around, and I would probably go and like lie on the sofa and just put the telly on. So obviously I'm not doing that, and even when you're kind of just sitting and there's people and talking, it's still quite like stimulating, I suppose. So yeah, it's definitely wearing me out, but I'm enjoying it. It's really good so far. But now I'm going to get ready for bed because I'm shattered. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Good morning, excuse the weird angle. We have had our breakfast, had a shower, washed my hair, all that kind of jazz, which I've been over with Noah to help give him a shower, and we're now just going to head over to the campsite. I am going to go to a talk at 11:15 about mental health, so yeah, I'm just going to go over there, park the car and then head over to that.
When I was 14, just after my 14th birthday, I went on, actually this story is particularly relevant now I think of it, but I went on a Christian camp for a week, which was about as well suited to me, a resolutely indoors kind of person, as well as me camping now, to be fair. And it was physically boring, and I'm an asthmatic and my body's a bit dodgy in that sense. And we had to go on a trek and camp, and I went because all my friends were going and I didn't want to miss out. I cried from the minute I got in the car to go to the minute I got off the car to come home again. The problem was, it wasn't just homesickness, although I most definitely was homesick, but it was the beginning of something, because when I got home I couldn't stop crying. I spent the first 2 weeks of year 10 crying.
So I'm back from the talk about mental health. It was really interesting. It was by a lady called Rachel Newham, and she's written a book, so I think I might see if I can get a copy of that and give it a read, because she was really interesting. She kind of had a similar story to me in some ways, because in her teenage years she'd had depression, self-harm, taking overdoses, an eating disorder, had been in hospital, like a psychiatric hospital, and then she was kind of relating that a little bit to some verses in the Bible and like how she relates to it and stuff. So yeah, it was really interesting. Back in the tent now, and we're just about to have some lunch, which I'm glad about because I'm quite hungry. So Richard and I took Noah to a place called Stepping Stones, which is where there's just loads and loads of toys and stuff for kids. So he had a play there. It's a bit noisy in here, so sorry if you can't hear me. I couldn't really film much there because there was so many children, and obviously didn't want to film them too much. We've now come to the marketplace for our tea and cake that we didn't manage to get yesterday. So I have got a rather large piece of red velvet, and we're going to tuck in, and then we're going to have a little look around some of the shops again.
Change has a reason, baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I, baby, you and I.
BBC did a survey a few years ago, and they asked people what's the number one word you associate with wasps and the number one word you associate with bees. Here are the top 3 for wasps. Number 1, sting. Number 2, annoying. Number 3, dangerous. Do wasps have a good reputation? No. The top 3 words associated with bees. Number 1, honey. Number 2, flowers. Number 3, pollination. I think bees win in the reputation stakes. Quite a good reputation. So, I want to propose, be more bee. Let's be more bee.
We're back in the hotel room now. I've had a really bad tummy ache ever since we went to have cake. I mean, they were massive slices and I couldn't eat all of mine, but ever since then I've just been in pain and not feeling particularly good. But yeah, we had our cake and had another look round. I did buy a sweater which I'll show you in a minute. So we did that, and then we decided we were going to have one night where we didn't cook, but we'd go to the food court, and it just happened to fit in best for tonight. So we went to the food court. All the others had fish and chips, but I went for a vegetable stir fry with like noodles, and oh my god, the portion was huge. It was very nice, but yeah, I don't think I even when I looked at it, I was like, it doesn't even look like I've touched it, but yeah, it was nice. So did that, and then we went to Impact again like we did last night, and listened to some music, and then there was a talk, quite an interesting talk, and then after that we headed back to the tent and just sat there and chatted for quite a while. A couple of the other people from the group came in and sat and chatted with us, and then we came back here, and it is 11:10 and I'm not very awake. I've just taken some like medication to see if it will help my stomach because it's just really painful. But yeah, just gonna get into my pyjamas and get ready for bed now, I think. Tomorrow I haven't really got, there was no like seminars that I really was that bothered about going to in the morning, so Mum and I are going to go to Tesco's because we need to pick up a few things to kind of see us through the next couple of days, and then there's something that I want to do in the afternoon and the evening, so hopefully that will all work out. But yeah, let me show you the sweater that I bought when we went to the marketplace. So it took a while to decide what I wanted, but in the end I've just gone for a navy sweatshirt with the sort of like luminous, I don't know, is it luminous? It's more like peachy orange text on it, and just says United, New Wine, established 1989, which is when the first one was. And yeah, I think it's really nice. It was £25. I went for a medium, and I'm usually like a 12-ish, and that fits quite nicely. So yeah, that's what I bought. Good morning. We have been and had our breakfast, just come back to the room to get our stuff together. There wasn't anything that we really wanted to do this morning, so Mum and I are going to head over to Tesco's because we're running out of a few essentials and we need to keep going until Saturday. So yeah, we're going to head over there. Well, Mum's just finishing brushing her teeth, and then we're going to head over to Tesco's, get all those bits, and then go over to the campsite to see the others. Okay, shopping is done. We are now back at the campsite. We mainly bought just normal stuff, but if I can find it. Where did you put my chocolate, Mum? Ugh, she's not there. We did get, oh, it's right at the back, some chocolate, oh crap, which is the new M&M chocolate, and I just went for the like original chocolate one, so I'm very much looking forward to trying that.
This will be the last
So we've had our lunch. Noah's had a little bit of a play outside, which he seems to have enjoyed. He's now eating a lolly, aren't you? Is that nice? Yeah, he's now eating a lolly, and we are going to head down to the marketplace because there's just a couple of other little shops we want to have a look at, and then I'm going to a talk at 4 about being single, so I thought that might be quite interesting. So yeah, I'm going to go and try and get these shops looked at before my talk happens.
Walking around the supermarket, all the lovely buy one get one free offers, I'm obsessed with those, right? You want a bag of 10 satsumas, you can get another 10 for free. I do not want 20 satsumas. I eat 20 satsumas, they will go on. Now, maybe I just need to find a friend and go shopping with a friend and it will be alright, but I have proper, angst walking around the supermarket going, I just want those 10 satsumas for half the price. Everywhere it feels like sometimes it's a bit awkward, a bit odd to be the one on my own. Anybody ever done this sort of your turn next thing? So you're at a wedding and somebody's nudging you, your turn next. Anybody else in here a single vicar, right? I tell you seriously, every time I baptise a baby, oh, that suits you, your turn next. I'm like, I don't think I'm allowed to just deck the people in my congregation. In fact, a friend of mine who has also written a book on singleness says that he intends next time somebody says that to wait until they're at a funeral together and go, I think he would do it. I think he would do it. And I read at one point when I was researching the book, there was this really interesting article on the BBC News. You see, we can sometimes think this is just an issue for Christians, but I actually don't think it is. And I think sort of out there in the world, actually what we're seeing is we're seeing lots and lots more single people. And in theory, this is kind of great and fantastic and all about freedom and we can live however we want, but actually there's also at the same time this massive issue around loneliness. And this massive issue around, it's still not, we sort of want to think it's brilliant and free and wonderful, but actually it's also sort of not quite the norm, so people are a bit confused by it still. So there was this BBC News article, and it was a man that wrote this article, and it was not a Christian, and it was called Why Are Couples So Mean to Single People? That's a pretty provocative title, talk about clickbait. But he wrote this article, Why Are Couples So Mean to Single People? And basically what he said was his experience, just in the world, nothing to do with church, his experience just in the world, is that he found it really hard because couples didn't quite know what to do with him. And he basically outlined, and I don't really agree with this, of course, but some of you will have kind of understand a little bit of his experience. He basically said that to him, it feels like, he feels that he is made to feel from his friends and society that to be single is to have failed.
Imposter syndrome means that when I sit in a room, I think all the time somebody's going to catch me out and they're going to realise I'm not really who I'm meant to be. I have this thing where I sit in meetings and I always face the door so that if anybody during the meeting notices that I don't know what I'm talking about, I can get out the door as you laugh. But this is my life. I have this genuine fear that somebody's going to catch me out at some point. And I live with this fear, and this fear means that I don't walk into sometimes all that God has for me, just in case somebody catches me out.
When you're down and you stare out your window, hoping that you'll come up with some words to say. That's not okay. When you feel like
hotel now. I can't remember when I last spoke to you, but I think it was when Mum and I were going to go and have a little look at a couple of shops, and then I was going to go to that talk about being single, which was really, really good actually. The lady that was doing it was really funny, and yeah, it was really a really good talk. Excuse me, sorry, that was Mum's phone making weird noises. So yeah, after the talk we went back to the tent and had a bit of dinner, and then we went to Impact again for the music and the talk, and then after that they were launching like this big like hot air balloon thing for basically they're launching something called Luminosity next year, which is going to be at the same time as New Wine, but it's going to be like a whole like village camp thing just for young people. So yeah, they were launching like that big balloon for that, and now yeah, we're back at the hotel. Not feeling brilliant at the moment. I've got a headache, earache, sore throat, mouth is really sore, so battery's flashing and my battery's flashing as well, so I am going to go to bed and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, it is our last day at New Wine today. We go home tomorrow. We have just been down to have a bit of breakfast, back in the room now just kind of sorting ourselves out, and then we're going to head over to the campsite. I haven't got any plans for this morning. There weren't really any talks that I wanted to do, so just going to take it a bit easy. And then I want to go to a talk this afternoon. But yeah, I think I'm beginning to flag a bit. So as much as I'm enjoying it, I'm also quite looking forward to going home and just being able to kind of rest and recover and stuff a bit, because I'm really tired, and well, like sore throat and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know quite where the week's gone, but yeah, I have enjoyed it. So just going to wait for Mum to get sorted, and then we will head over to see the others. Filming location. I'm in a disabled toilet. I realised I hadn't spoken to you for a little while. So yeah, we got over to the campsite this morning and had a little play with Noah, and then I actually ended up just sitting down and falling asleep on the chair for a while because I'm just really tired, and I think I just needed a bit of a top me up sleep. So I did that, and then by the time I woke up it was time to have some lunch, which we've just done, and I'm now going to a talk about chronic illness. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what that one is about. A lot of people are packing up to go home today, but we're not going until tomorrow, which actually I'm quite glad about. It just means that I can have like a proper night's sleep and then focus on getting home. But yeah, I'm going to head to this talk about chronic illness now, so I'll let you know what it was all about.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself and my background, just so you know who you're hearing from. So I should say, for people who haven't heard me talk before, that my name is Kate Middleton, but I am not married to Prince William. Sorry to disappoint anyone. My daughter says that's why people come to hear me, because they think I'm the other one. The first thing that I want to say is that what we must remember is that sometimes in life, bad things or difficult things do just happen. So I think so often in the context of chronic long-term ill health, particularly in the church, but outside the church as well, we can get into a culture of, if you like, victim blaming. So many people come to me and they will say, oh, I've developed this problem and it's because I didn't manage stress well, or it's because I'm too emotional, or it's because I let myself get burned out, or it's because of this, that and the other. Now, the reality is sometimes you get sick because this is a broken world, because there is sickness around, because difficult things happen. Sometimes it is bad luck. I'm not saying that sometimes things like long-term stress can't have an impact, and that is an area of research and something we need to understand better in medicine. But sometimes things just happen and it's unlucky and it's difficult and it's rubbish. And we have to hold that and speak it and say it and hold it with the people who have found themselves in that position. We have to remember that sometimes that is how things go.
So I'm just out of the chronic illness talk, which was really interesting. It was by a lady who originally trained as a doctor, and then she trained as a psychologist, and she's also now a pastor in a church, and she was just talking about like how people react to chronic illness, and how the church reacts to people with chronic illness, and sort of praying for healing and things like that, and whether it works or not, and how people feel. And then she gave some sort of tips on just coping with chronic illness and life. So yeah, I've now met up with Mum and Dad, and we are having an ice cream. I've got a bubblegum Knickerbocker Glory, which looks rather nice. So yeah, I'm just going to enjoy this.
Is that nice, Jenny? Ow!
Popped in Mummy's face. You want to give it a go? It's got one.
Blow it.
You like to have lots of it. There we go. Oh, right.
Get it. Oh, all over Mummy.
That's okay, now blow. Well done.
In the hotel again for the last time. So yeah, after our ice cream we went back to the tent, played with Noah for a bit and had some dinner, and then Richard, Lisa and I went to a new venue called Hungry, which we hadn't been to before. Mum, Dad and Noah came as well, but they sat somewhere different, and they just stayed for the worship, and then they went off, but we stayed for like the talk as well. And the talk was by the guy that founded Alpha, which is a course that I did last year, and it was really interesting. He was a really good speaker, so yeah, that was a nice evening. And then after that we went to get a hot chocolate mountain because Richard and Lisa hadn't had one yet, and you know, who was I to say no? Yeah, so we did that, and now we've come back to the hotel. Decided not to kind of hang around and sit and chat because I want to kind of get a decent night's sleep before we have to drive home tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of New Wine. I will finish the vlog properly tomorrow and kind of chat through what I thought of it. But yeah, I am going to get ready for bed now and try and get some good sleep before tomorrow. Good morning, happy Saturday. We have been and had some breakfast. The others all came over and had their breakfast with us as well, so that was quite nice. Noah's just been in here having his nappy changed and stuff. He's definitely on cute mode this morning. He's just being so funny. So yeah, we're just packing up the last of our things and then we are going to head home. It's going to be a long drive, but just want to get started now and get home and unpack and sleep in my own bed. So yeah, I'll probably speak to you when we get back. We have been back home for a little while now. The drive was alright. It was quite busy on the M25. Oh, my light's just gone out. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was quite busy on the M25 and the M1 and the M3. Well, it was just busy. It was Saturday, but it was okay. We stopped to have some lunch, and I think overall it took us about 4 hours, and that included stopping for lunch, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I've been back for a while. I have unpacked.
I think my light is breaking because it keeps flashing and going out, so apologies if it happens. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've unpacked. I quite enjoy unpacking actually. I don't know why. I like, as soon as I get in from a holiday or whatever, I quite like just like putting everything back where I know it's like meant to go, and putting my suitcase away, and I don't know, it just, I much prefer unpacking to packing. So yeah, that's all done, and yeah, I'm gonna crash out now because I'm tired. So yeah, it's been a really good week. I have really enjoyed it. I was a bit nervous about going because I'd never been to New Wine before. I'd never been to any kind of like festival, let alone a Christian festival. Didn't really know what to expect, and certainly like the first day or so I felt completely overwhelmed. It was pouring with rain all the time, it was cold, it was, yeah, that didn't help. But I started getting, soon got into it, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the music, went to some really interesting seminars, like heard some really interesting people talk, spent some really good quality time with some of my family, which was nice. Got to spend some time, like proper time with Noah. Also got to know like some other people from our because we all went like as a big church group, so we all camped like together. So it was nice like getting to know people from there a bit more, because you see them at church for a bit but you don't always necessarily like get time to talk that much, so it was nice to just sit around and chat with them. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest, and I am already kind of considering going back next year, which shows that, yeah, it must have been good, because otherwise I wouldn't be thinking about going back. So yeah, I don't know, next year I may think about like working there, as in it's not like paid work or anything like that, it's just going to do a job. So I did consider it this year, going to help with like the media stuff. So they have like a little radio station, and obviously they do like filming and pictures and things like that. But this time I just wanted it to, because it was my first time, I just wanted to experience it as a person basically, and not as, you know, someone that had a role. But yeah, next year I might kind of consider doing something else, because I guess the one part that I missed was didn't get a lot of time. There's a really loud dog going past our window, sorry. There wasn't much opportunity to like get to know people outside of our group, whereas I think if you go and work, like Becca was working this year, and she got to know some other people from different like areas and churches and stuff like that. So the light's gone out again. Yeah, so she got to know some different people, so I don't know, maybe next year that'll be something that I might consider. We'll see. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this vlog and seeing a little bit about what I got up to this week. I know that religion isn't for everybody, and I'm not making this to try and, you know, rub it in your face or convert you if it's not what you believe. I just wanted to make, well, I do my weekly vlogs anyway, and this just happened to be part of what I was doing, you know, this week. But also, you know, when I was thinking about going, I looked up online on YouTube and stuff for stuff about New Wine, and I didn't really find a huge amount, so I thought it would be quite good if I, you know, did a vlog about it, so that if anyone else is kind of thinking or wanting to know like what it is, then hopefully they can find this video and understand what it is a bit more. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, you know, whatever background you're coming from. If you have enjoyed it and you'd like to see more videos from me, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment, let me know what you've been up to this week, let me know what you have thought of this week's vlog, and also let me know if there's any other videos you'd like to see me do, and I will see you again in my next video very soon. Bye!